In 2012, Canada had only 543 murders. This is a pretty low number compared to the almost 13,000 in the US that year, and you can't even use the excuse of us being 10 times less populated. Per capita, Americans are still killing each other nearly 2.5 times more than Canadians are. However, when Canadians do it, whew, we fucking do it big, it seems. Oh sure, you guys had a little beheading there not too long ago, but in 2008, we had a guy cut a person's head off on a Greyhound bus, then show it to passengers and onlookers before he started taking bites out of the face. Yeah, you guys got shootings. This year, a guy hunted RCMP officers in a small town in eastern Canada, ran around neighborhoods in camo pants with a rifle waiting for people to call the cops, and then shot them when they showed up. Canada's home to Paul Bernardo, a man who, along with his girlfriend in the early 90s, recorded himself raping and murdering teenage girls, one of which was the younger sister of his girlfriend. She gave her to him as a present. Happy birthday, here's my teenage sister, have fun. And currently on trial here in Canada for one of those 543 murders in 2012 is Luka Magnotta. Let me tell you about this sick fuck. He murdered a man named Lin Jun, stabbed him, chopped him up, filmed the whole process and posted it online, and then mailed pieces of the body to 2 different elementary schools, as well as to the headquarters of the Liberal and Conservative parties. How nonpartisan of him. They found the torso in the garbage outside his home, which you don't have to be Dexter to know that's not a good place for disposal. And they caught him after he fled the country. He was in Berlin in an internet cafe, and someone noticed he was reading articles about himself. Just admiring his work via CNN or whatever. Now, the reason I don't have to put allegedly in front of any of this is because he's admitted to all of it. He's not disputing that he did it. He is, however, pleading not guilty on the grounds of being mentally ill and therefore not criminally responsible. I fucking hate that this is a thing, that this is a possible outcome. Of course he's mentally ill. No normal human being wakes up one day and says, I'm gonna find a guy and film myself killing him. I'm gonna send his body parts all around the country. I guess I'll go have lunch, maybe catch a movie later tonight. I think Guardians is still playing somewhere. Of course he's fucking insane. You don't need to waste the government's money and a jury's time figuring that out. He apparently posted videos of himself killing kittens when he was younger. A fresh take on the cat video genre on YouTube perhaps, but it just adds to the ever-piling mountain of evidence that this guy's a fucking whack job. But because he's a goddamn lunatic, he's not criminally responsible, and he might get to go live in an institution instead of go to an actual prison where he might actually be someday deemed cured and allowed to walk away. Imagine you're the family of the victim and the verdict is that he's not responsible for the death of your son, brother, whatever. It wasn't him, it was the illness. How the fuck would you feel? Maybe something like this? Oh man, well that sucks about his illness. I really hope that poor fellow is able to get the help he needs. Who's thinking that? I would bet even Mother Teresa would have thought, fucking just drag him out into the woods and put the cocksucker down. I discussed my feelings on this in my video about Vincent Lee and the death penalty. When you have someone like this, someone like the Boston bomber brother that didn't do everyone a favor and fucking die, or that asshole James Holmes who thought he was the Joker and shot up a theater, just dispose of them. I've heard all this shit about the death penalty being more expensive on the system than keeping someone in prison, but this is because they're doing it wrong. You see, in a death penalty case, after the trial is over and they're found guilty, they put them in prison for a while. There are appeals, the case goes to higher courts, which means judges that cost more money. During this time, they have to keep them isolated, can't just toss them in with the rest of the regular animals in the kennel. They get special treatment. Here's how it would work if I was in charge. If you plead guilty, you get to choose how they kill you, and they do it within 24 hours. You get a last meal, you get to say goodbye to your family, maybe watch a favorite movie one last time. You get one last day of being treated like a human being, one more than you gave your victim. If you plead innocent and waste the court's time before they find you guilty, once the verdict is read, they drag you into the bathroom and drown you in the toilet after members of the victim's family take turns shitting and pissing in it. No, I don't think every murder case should be like this. But the really fucked up ones where there's no question that the person was guilty and they did weird shit, just do everyone a favor. And none of this not criminally responsible bullshit. You stabbed or shot a person or did some other weird fucked up thing to them? I don't care what a doctor says, you're responsible. In Canada, though, it's never gonna happen. I don't know why, but the same country that breeds some of the sickest motherfuckers on the planet also wants to take care of them. And not in the Sopranos way, but in the Grey's Anatomy way. Well, if we kill them, we're no better than they are. Yes, we are. We're much better. We didn't film ourselves carving a man up like a turkey and then mail his parts from coast to coast. So, 2 things to take away from all of this. Number 1, Canadians are still pussies when it comes to dealing with criminals and always will be. And number 2, I don't know if it's something in our air, the water, or the fact that we make people listen to Bryan Adams on the radio all day. But we've churned out some assholes that can compete with the worst in the world for the title of Sociopath of the Century. Not something to be proud of, but we suck at everything else, so I guess we'll take what we can get.